Hey everyone, MJ here. Sorry I can't be with y'all live. I really wanted to be with you guys live, but so much going on right now with the holiday seasons and all that's happening. I'm not able to do them live, so I'm going to just get these recorded, get them up. These are going to be for the astrology for the week of, or the days of the 22nd through, since today is the 22nd, through till the 26th. All right. So, I'm going to start with you guys. Capricorn, finish it out, get for the rest of this week of what's happening. It's very interesting. Like I said, I've been real busy. I would love to do everything with you guys live, but it's just not possible right now. So, I'm going ahead and recording them, and then I will upload them and hope everything will go fine. Let's go ahead and move over to the astrology now. All right. Remember, all times are Eastern Standard Time. Okay. This is going to be for day 22, which is today. Um, and I will set them up on a daily thing. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. What we got. What we got. Um, come on down. Come on down. All right. First thing we're going to start out with is that the moon is in Pisces and it is conjunct with Neptune retrograde. Won't be much longer. Retrograde, Neptune going retrograde will go direct in Pisces. So they're both there and they're together at 24:56, as you can see right here. All right. So let's talk a little bit about this moon being at it started at 3:45 this morning. Now, a lot of us was sleeping. I wasn't. Um, I was sitting here working. Um, got up about 3:30, something like that. Um, and got busy and got working on some for December, trying to get those started out. And it's been a nightmare. I've been working on it for 4 days. I mean, my software is like going. You know what it is with software. If you deal with software, it can be a real pain in the butt. So anyway, not very many people around to ask questions about either. But anyway, that's my problem, not yours. But like I said, I really miss not being able to do this live with you guys. But like I said, this is early in the morning at 3:45. So there was something here that I'm feeling or seeing. I'm not really feeling, I'm seeing it. That divine having you look at something here, because you can see with Pluto, a cycle is ending. This is, with this Pluto, it's coming to an end. Whatever it's been doing, it'll be a temporary end. It'll come back one more time next year, but I think it's toward the end of the year, somewhere in there. Anyway, I don't have the exact time, and I'm not going to stress on it. But it will come back one more time at 29 degrees and say, okay, whatever this is, you need to get rid of it. Uh, Whatever's been going on, that you have been going through this transformation for so long, all right, where you have been changing you, um, and it's dealing with things from the past with the South Node, as we can see right here, okay? And we can see with the North Node here, both of them being in squares. Whatever you've been trying to, how you've been trying to rebuild yourself, reestablish yourself, taking back your control, taking back your power, letting things go, because the nodes are direct. I changed the nodes from the mean to the true. Um, and these nodes are connected to the moon. They're a point in position in the sky for the moon. And so it's a where you need to, whatever visions or dreams or projects or whatever it is that you have really, really been focused on and that's been sacred to you, that you dedicated yourself to those aspirations, something you wanted to achieve, something, plans, goals, whatever it's been ever since Pluto has been going through here and everything, you've been going through this thing of, and do I really want to dedicate myself to something here? Do I really want to let this go? Do I really want to carry it in the future? Do I, we all been going through that. And so it's to get you to really focus on the future and your future actions. You can't change the past of what you've done or what's happened, but you can move forward and you can change that. In these cycles, let them go, whatever it is that you have tried to do. It's all new now. It's all going to be new. It's all new beginning. Because when that Pluto goes into Aquarius, it's going to be totally different for the next 20 years. You'll be focused on your second house, your values, your possessions, things you get from here coming forward. Are you going to give them away to people that maybe need? When you give something away that you no longer need, make sure you give it a thanksgiving to it for all those things that it brought to you in your life. Let it go. Give it to others or get rid of it, but make sure you always give thanks to it. And for what it gave you in that period of your lifetime in the past. So it's now focusing on what you're going to do now. Here, now, in this present time. But what I'm seeing right now with the moon and Neptune being conjunct here is with the quincunx over to the south node, there's still something here that there has to be some adjustments still made between what was the past and what you want for the future. Really look at this. It involves courage and it involves making that decision. And I know it's hard because we want to hang on to things. But you're going to find that the time comes now. You're new. You've changed. You're all different now. You've been working on you, the self, your identity, how you appear to others in these areas. So you're starting all new. You're looking for this fresh new start. We do have some more healing. You maybe been working through a lot of healing. That is great. Maybe you've been making these radical changes. You've been activating your mind and maybe noticing or looking at how you communicate, which this is all great because as you can see here, with, let's see, let me go over here. With Neptune, Jupiter, whoa, and this connection here, all right, with these, I'm sorry, go back, undo that. I was looking at the wrong one. With Neptune feeding into this energy here, that's feeding to here, that's also feeding into this energy here. These are connected. Life-altering changes, focusing on what you can give away, what you can let go of, or people, places, whatever this is that you maybe been really devoted to at one time. It's time to maybe now say, okay, I didn't get this accomplished, I didn't get that accomplished, but I've been changing me. The biggest thing is doing these things to help you heal and take back your authority, your power. Because there's going to be something of a change that's going to happen, maybe in love affairs? Are you even still passionate about those things anymore? Um, are you letting some people go? That maybe you're going to let them go in your life. Maybe something you got to let this thing go so new can come in. Different people. You've changed. Get in different areas with other people. Um, you're going to begin to focus on communicating in a more of what you believe. And if the ones that you're around, they don't believe what you do, that's okay. Get around like-minded people, but make sure they're good. Make sure they're positive. Okay, that you can. It'll be an easy flow. I think we all been kind of struggling with a lot of people in our lives, and it's time to really focus on that. Now, the sun today at 9:02 this morning. What in the world? Oh, the sun now is going to enter, as you can see right here. The sun is going to enter into Sagittarius, and we're going to start Sagittarius season today. And so Mars will be coming in. Remember, Mercury's going to go retrograde in Sagittarius, so it will go behind the sun, or the sun will cross in front of it. So there will be that way of a new way of thinking, because it just burns things out when the planet goes behind the sun. It's hiding. It's being reborn, more or less. And Mars is hanging close to the sun. I'm telling you, this sucker's, even in December, it is still hanging close. And it is that sextile with Pluto as well. And it's just feeding the energy. I mean, the energies are feeding. Right now, the moon is going to, is breaking away, but it's still in the conjunction with Neptune. So it's still feeding off of that energy of wanting to reassess or look at what before you try to accomplish that you had so much passion to getting achieved. It could be anything from, with the third house, is dealing with very mutable sign anyway, by the way. I will say that. It's all about communications and how you connect to your immediate environment, how you adapt in it. And in it being a mutable sign, you can make these adaptments or these changes relatively easy. We do see that now Uranus has broken that sextile, that connection to that energy that was feeding, because now the moon's going to go into Aries. The next thing we have at 10:09 this morning, the moon still being in Pisces. It's trying Mars here in Scorpio. And when it's trying, it's giving that trying to be very creative. It's two water energies. Maybe keeping, I would say, something here with the 11th house. It could be with friends. Still maybe what you're doing with friends, the actions you're taking with friends. You may be questioning these things. Does this group of friends, do we click anymore? It's like you have all your friends in high school, right? Some of them you keep for a lifetime. Some of them you don't, So it's their ideals, their thoughts may change, their goals, their whatever may be going on with them. There's a change in their situation compared to yours, because you have been drastically changing as well. And you just taking back control of yourself. I don't know what your ascendings are. So you got to look at the ascendings. because that is what is being displayed out. You don't show everything about yourself to others unless they're very, very close to you. And that's usually very few people we do that with, do we share things with. Um, Later on today, at 11:44, the moon is still conjunct with Neptune, still feeding off that energy, still processing those feelings. You feel the change happening because the moon is going to go into Aries and it will have that passion. And this could be in your home, with being with your family, uh, being around family, connecting with family. Um, some of you may be, some of you may not. Uh, so, still, there's not too much I'm seeing is changing here. It's still dealing with what's going on this morning. Like I said, the connection with the mind. Uh, this is going to be, you're going to maybe express something about the home. Maybe you're going to plan on moving. Um, the family may be moving. Maybe there could be some passion about moving to a different place. I know a lot of people may be moving. They have been moving. So it may be that, and moving the family. You could say, well, we have to adapt to our new environment. What do you think? You know, you may be getting opinions from others. You're letting things go because the 12th house has to do with karma, and what we have dealt with, maybe some things you have dealt with in the past, maybe somewhere in social conflicts, maybe in the area you're in, there's too much conflict going on, and you want to move the family away from something there. You're processing, you're thinking, you're taking control of things in your life, wanting better for family. Now the sun moves into Aquarius. I'm sorry, Aquarius moves into Aries, and it's still bringing in that energy of being with Neptune. Still dealing with things in that third house of adjusting maybe to your environment. Maybe you've already moved and you're still adjusting. Maybe there's something here you'd plan maybe to go back to school or something here on that level. Maybe maybe there's some, you may be inspired to go back to school now. But I don't think, I'd be really cautious about where I went to school right now because of the colleges that are going on, or where I send my children there. That's another thing you may have to worry about, because what I see and what I know of what's going on with colleges now, it's a little iffy out there. And so, as parents, we got to worry about when our kids do go away to school, are we making the right choices for them? And there could be a lot of communication going on about this. Then at 12:34, which not that much, something here with the sun in Sagittarius now. There's still that trine, and it's trine to the moon. And this is where you may be having a serious conversation with people in the family about their goals, their aspirations, your goals, your aspirations. I'm going to dedicate myself here. I'm going to dedicate. We're at that point of time during the holidays where we gather, we talk, we communicate about what we want for the future because the new year is coming. You ever notice how we, this time around Thanksgiving, not so much around Halloween, but especially around when it comes to Thanksgiving, we all here in the United States give thanks for those things that we have in our life, the people, the things that we have accomplished, and we're looking at things that, okay, didn't accomplish this, that's okay. I'm going to be okay. Um, I can still maybe keep this here, maybe let things go. A lot of us are kind of like decluttering, and that's a good thing as well. Focusing on those things that maybe I was this way in the past, but for the new year, kind of like, I hate to use that word, New Year resolution, because a lot of people don't keep them unless they're really serious. So be serious about anything that you want to start planning now for the future. And then work on those things going toward that. This day is all about you just really taking the control back. By this evening, the moon is going to be at 6 degrees in Aries, as you can see right here. And it's going to be squaring. Now it is going to be squaring Vista at 6 degrees and 0. So it's really thinking about not, I don't want to say with the sun and Mars being there, this is where don't get too comfortable, I would say, because trions can bring in an ease and a comfort. So something could be missed here about, your productivity or something during the day. You may be reassessing things. Did I get this done? Did I get that done? There's still something here with Mercury in conjunct, because it was not before, but it's there now. It's all been with the South Node and Neptune really reassessing the past here and getting things done. It's like you could be, looking at things with this eternal flame. Vista, as known, is the keeper of the spiritual flame. And this is where you allow, it allows you to dedicate yourself to your aspirations, your plans, and your goals. And have that really spiritual devotion to a cause or a project or a person or a belief. That is something that's really been sacred to you. I do want to say that Mercury is in its detriment right now in Sagittarius. Your mind is trying to adjust because it is a mutable sign. So there could be some things, but it's out of bounds, and it's at a negative out of bounds. And Pluto's at this 23 degrees, not real strong, but it is out of bounds as well. When a planet goes into a negative thing, there could be some things where, a lot of people kind of get stressed out during the holidays. For a lot of reasons. Don't let yourself go there. Just kind of adapt to it. Say, okay, couldn't do this. I can't do that. I can't afford this. I can't afford that. We're all going through something here through this Pluto transformation that is going to be affecting us. No ifs, ands, or about things are changing. How do we adapt? How do we communicate? What do we think? Am I dedicated to this? I mean, it's all this going on. What I need to let go of the past. Where am I going in the future? It's really, really challenging. And with Uranus being in this quincunx, or Mercury being in this quincunx with Uranus, you want to make some sort of radical change here, or changes you. There could be something here where your mind is thinking and you're communicating, and it's like I've got to somehow learn to adjust to something here. With Uranus being in your 5th house, which deals a lot with love affairs, romantic attachments, and this could be with Neptune, where we were so romantically attached in the past to something here that we, you ever gone out and cleaned out a closet only to find, well, I want to keep this because it has so much memories? Do you really ask yourself, do I use this anymore? Do I wear this anymore? Cleaning out a garage, same thing. Do I really need this or need that? We're going through a phase, I think, where we're restructuring, we're taking back our control, we're taking back our power, we're really working for the future, where we want to go, where we want to be. We want to declutter our lives. Things aren't working out with others, blah, 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 blah. And it's a lot of stuff that we're processing right now, and it's not an easy time. It really is not. And then you throw in the moon, going into its full moon stage. This would be a time where, especially, let me get something here real quick. Lord have mercy. Okay. Yeah, we just planted the seeds, and we're thinking about those things we want to achieve. You remember when I said that something about the planting of the seed at the first quarter of the moon? That's when you set your intentions for the future. So we're looking at this, and that was in Aquarius when the moon was over here, where's my thing at? Back over here, when the moon was going through there, that's when we were setting our intentions for the future. Now, we're looking here in Pisces, why it was in Pisces earlier today. Earlier this morning. What are we going to dedicate ourselves here to? Now, this is when the moon is in here. Emotionally, we want to take the action. We're driven. And we might be sharing things, we may not, but it's going to come right up on Chiron, and there's still something there with Venus that when that moon comes in conjunct with Chiron in opposition to, is things fair? Is things balanced? Do I really love this anymore? Does this bring joy in my life anymore? You're going to have that energy with Venus that you're really going to have to try and balance things out. I can keep this, but I can't keep this. I can't, I'm not devoted to this people. I'm not devoted to this group. Whatever it is, it's time now. This is the time that once tonight, on this final evening at 10:32 Eastern Standard Time, it is now time to rest yourself, to get prepared, to really start putting in the effort now and really working toward that. And some decisions may be very tough to do. All right, now we're on the 23rd of November, and we start out with the sun in Sagittarius. This again is at, I got to really give you all the times, at 4:46 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's usually about the time I'm waking up. I'm already awake by then. And I don't know what, it used to be I would wake up at 2 o'clock, then 3 o'clock. Now it's at 4 o'clock. I mean, it's really weird. But it's okay. It's all right. Just, I got to make sure I get plenty of rest. But I usually, I'm up by then. So you'll have to adjust your time because the universal time is -5 from that time. All right, so you'll have to make those adjustments, especially if you're universal time, wherever that may be. It's five off, -5. Anyway, let's not linger on that. Let's get busy. I want to get through this. The sun now, like I said, is in Sagittarius, and we have it squaring with Saturn in Pisces. Both of them are at 0. Both of them are at 49 minutes in. Still, these two have not. They're not. It's like with Saturn, it's not retrograde anymore. So still, I mean, I heard a comment from somebody yesterday that I was speaking with. It feels like said to me, certain situations in their life, it doesn't seem to be moving forward. Well, and I said, well, guess what? It will be moving forward soon, very soon. So enjoy this time right now, because I will say that um, on the 28th, which will be next week, things will begin to start moving. Saturn will be at 1 degree, and there will be a focus here. Things will start happening. All right? So don't worry about it right now. Try and get rest. Let things develop like they should. I know you want to get things going, but we have to realize sometimes we're still with this quincunx, with Neptune here, over to the south node, still processing, still making a decision. And now all of a sudden the quincunx with Mercury as well, I talked about. Now the rest of the day is going to be dealing with the emotions. The rest of this whole day. We're going to have the moon that is going to go into conjunction with, I told you earlier, with Chiron, 56 minutes in. So it's connecting there. And again, it's feeling that opposition to something here. You got to ask yourself those questions. Do I really want to keep this? Does it serve me any longer? Does it help me grow, or is it restricting me? And I feel like that's something you really need to ask yourself. Is it bringing balance into your life? Is it helping you? Is it giving you success? Is it going to help you? Look at everything in that manner to what you have around that you need to clear out of your life, that you're trying to let go and release of. Does this serve me anymore? Does this group serve me anymore? Is this relationship growing with this person, this person? You know, when people go around, it always used to crack me up when I'd see things on Facebook and people say they got 1,300 friends. And I'm like, really? Really? Maybe it's the time that we start decluttering our Facebook, or spend a little less time with how many people we know and who knows us, and, well, how many people we communicate. Come on, let's get real. Let's really get real here. Because I just don't see it. I really don't. There's no way in that you could have enough time to even, it's. I know people, but I know family that lives long distance from me. I don't get to talk with them that much. I don't see them. I'm not there on a daily basis. So let's look at those things and put them in categories of, this is distant relatives. Yes, I know them. Yes, these are distant. These are what I would call associates, not real friends. You know what I'm saying? Then we have the intimate relationships. Maybe it's time that we need to organize that as well. And I will say, we're going through some difficult. You'll be going through some difficult things in the home. If you're cleaning your home out, if there's things that are unhealthy in the home and the family, I do want to caution you: don't get over controlling. Be fair, be balanced, work with someone here. Communicate. And that will help you make decisions. By you, instead of like, well, I'm just going to do it all. We can't do it all unless you live alone, right? Unless you're single. Then yeah, it's you. But when you're living with other people, you're living with, maybe you're a single parent. That's another thing. Going through the children's toys, going through the clothing, going through this, communicate. There may be some difficult things here, especially with some of you that are maybe having those emotional attachments, is what I would call them. And you're going to have to really make this radical change. Does it Does it keep that spiritual flame in me? Am I still devoted to something? Because right now, like I said, Neptune is going to go direct. Why didn't I have that? Oh, okay. In December, which I'm already doing December's, and I saw it, and I saw some more that was going on, and I'm like, whoa, it's going to be really, really interesting come December, first part. Um, but there's some things that we have to, especially with whatever's going on here, you're going to have a lot of grace in this. I really, really, through whatever you're going through, that's very difficult. You're going to have to show some grace and love here. Um, to something that has to do, I don't really say so much love. If you don't love your job, then maybe it's time you change it. Are you growing in this employment, or are you growing? Are you learning anything in this school? If you're going to school, you're starting a career. Where do I want to go? It's all these things that we have to sort out from the past, because Venus is going to be moving and coming in conjunct with that South Node. And we really got to ask ourselves questions. Are we going to hang on to this? Are we going to be devoted to a relationship, a home, a job, uh, um, career, uh, you know, our, our values, whatever this is? We got to really, now is the time that whatever you do here, the process of showing grace to heal things, maybe with people from the past in your family or whatever, because that home is where you, Capricorn, specifically desire more than anything. You want a healthy home. You want a healthy, I don't I don't want to say control. You don't want to get too aggressive, but there's some things maybe you have to get aggressive about and heal. Um, if it's not just healing yourself, because these no's are definitely about the divine telling us it's time now. It is time. Set your intentions. Go where you're really spiritually devoted. Ask yourself, am I really, really devoted to this? Am I devoted to this relationship? Am I devoted to this home? Am I, really look at those things. Because, like I said, it's for you, it's all about transformation. Transforming yourself, changing you, taking back your power and your authority, ending cycles, becoming the person that you really want to be. Because I was looking at the eclipses too, and this coming year, um, is going to, things are good. That cycle's going to end in April. We got till April, and I'm telling you, when that happens, that solar eclipse happens, all those old things we were focused on, all those old things that we were uh, owned, or because the sun is like a ruler, that we control. Um, it's us that store, that personality traits we have, that were born under that sun sign. And right now, yours is in Sagittarius, and it's very mutable, very adaptable. So, that we've all been really focused, or you've been focused toward, of losses, things that have happened, and saying, okay, that's over, that's done, fine, let's move on. And I want to work toward this. I want to go after this. But there's some things you still got to work about yourself, and surrounding yourself in that balance, that peace and harmony, and love, and grace and beauty, all those things. Think of all the positive things. Change the way you think. Go to the more radical side, not the negative side. There's so much negative stuff out there. We need to get rid of it. Just get rid of it. and let it go. I was looking at something here. Oh, now that's now later on around 5 o'clock, and for a lot of you, I'm not sure. Oh, that's going to be Thanksgiving Day. This 23rd will be Thanksgiving Day. I just noticed that. For us that we celebrate here in the United States. Now, the moon now is in opposition. It still has that attachment with Chiron. And it's also attached with the North Node. It's coming in that conjunction. You can see it here. And the moon is feeding this opposition to Venus. Maybe something here you oppose to rectify on. That you know. My philosophy is if there's relationships where you feel that you've been done wrong somewhere, I don't care if it's a job or people or a person or some place that you don't want to be, you don't want to go, forgive it and say, okay, it doesn't bring me joy. It doesn't bring me happy. And I have to, some way, I have to just forgive this and move forward from it. I mean, a lot of times people don't get closure to things. And that can really mess with a lot of us, not getting closure. But you have to keep the positive energy flowing for your sake, not anyone else's, but yours. We're going to deal with challenges. We're going to deal with quincunxes off and on. And that's okay. We got to have the courage to make that decision, to think more positively. Yeah. It's where we look at things and it's not a good positive situation, but where's the good in it? Is there a lesson learned here? Did it bring in some kind of radical change that now something has inspired us to be devoted to something again? Think of that. And that's where we really need to look, where we can be successful in the future, where we can have success in the future. And let the negativity go. Forgive that old stuff. So what? I mean, I had a relationship for 30 years and I didn't get closure on it. And that's okay. That's okay. I forgive them. I forgive them all. But I'm growing. I'm learning. I've learned those lessons. And you might need to do that too. I'm doing what I want to do. And I am now letting go. After 30 years, I'm letting go. So what? I know I'll never gain those years back. That is the biggest regret I have. Right now, at this stage in my life, the only regret I have is that I will not get those years back again. And I wasted them on people who did not deserve to have me in their life. Period. They didn't. They couldn't see what was right in front of them, so be it. That's on them, not me. I'm a person who likes to help people. I'm a person that likes to see people succeed, help them to get to where they want to be. But if they're demanding and grabbing and, it's or selfish, then it's just time to just say, I'm done with all that. Yes, that is my only regret right now in my life that I have to forgive myself for, is I gave all those years to those I shouldn't have gave it to. I really shouldn't have. They didn't appreciate anything. And that's okay. Because now I have grown and I have learned and I can go on from those experiences. And that's what you need to do too. The next thing we have is by this late this evening, since it is Thanksgiving, reminiscing about the day, really seeing where there is, oh, okay, I see. Where there's some, again, the moon in this opposition with Venus. It's also in opposition with the South Node. Not uncommon. When it's in opposition, it's when we're awareness. We're awakening. I don't want to say woke, and I don't want to hear that damn word. I hate it. I cannot stand this crap of woke. An awakening, awoke, is just, oh, really? You know how you just think of yourself in bed and you just jump, you woke. I woke. What is that? But that means you're not consciously have awareness. People can sleepwalk, but they're not consciously aware of what they're doing. And this is where we need to awaken and have that conscious awareness. So we can have some objectivity. The mind is beginning to say, hey, I'm over here. It's about time you activate me. It's about time, we think what we're doing here. What have you been doing? Been there, done that, 30 years. I thought I was awoke or awakened. I thought I knew, but I wasn't, but I am now. And it took a hell of a lesson for me to learn that this is not for me. It's not bringing me success. It's not bringing me joy. It's not bringing me happiness. But I tell you what I do. I give it thanks. Yeah, all those things that I was devoted to spiritually, so devoted to in the past, I'm not no more. People, places, things, whatever, not devoted to it anymore. I've, got my own decisions I have to make and what I'm going to do here from now on. Now, I don't know. All I know is I like to learn. I like to be consciously aware of things. And I will not sit back and be asleep anymore and just live a woke life. Get up every day, no. I want my mind to be active. I want to learn. I want to grow. I want to expand. And that is where you should be as well. And you're going to have the courage to make decisions here to say, hey, I've got to think for myself. I can't let other people think for me. And if that means that you have to let something go, people go, or situations go that's influencing your decisions, you got to let it go and say it's okay. I got to grow up and be aware of something here. And I've got to look at it in an objectively way to say, is this really for me? Is this really what I want? And it's being consciously facing something of your relationships, either with people, places, or things, or objects. And either bringing something out about it that you become very illuminated and aware, or it brings you frustration. Nobody wants to live in frustration, because with frustration there's negative thinking. Say goodbye to it. Whatever it is, say goodbye to it. And give thanks to it that gave you lessons. It gave you what you needed during the time why it was there. whether it taught you something, whether it changed your values, or whatever it did, it replenished you or satisfied you during that time. Now is the time to say, okay, okay, and saying goodbye to it and giving it thanks. Okay, now we start on November the 24th at 4:27 in the morning, early morning hours. Um, we have Mercury in Sagittarius in a quincunx with Uranus. We've been talking about this retrograde. So there's something here you're reassessing about sudden changes. Maybe something where you were rebelling against something. Maybe your children, you were having difficulty with children. You thinking maybe even the younger generation. I mean, this is just a thought because I've thought it. You you might be looking at the younger generation below you, wherever you are. I'm 65 and I'm looking back, okay? And I'm looking at this younger generation and I'm thinking, they've lost their damn mind. I mean, I mean, it's looking at things and how they've radically changed. Just like, where did this come from? So, anyway, during this time, this is the overnight, and usually when we get up and we wake up in the morning, we have to, a lot of people watch the news, listen to the news. I'm not a big early morning news person. I used to be, but I do catch up on the news because it repeats all during the day. So, it doesn't matter what time. It's like a soap opera. It's always just a continuous thing. There'll be some new developments. Okay, that's a good thing. But what I'm seeing here is I want you to pay close attention to. This is the South Node. And the South Node here is with the moon in opposition to it, okay? Just want to look at one other thing here. And that North Node being in opposition as well. So these energies of the moon and the North Node, what you have, the node that's in its where it's at, it's a point in the sky of where the moon is. It's like that moon is where we want to go. We want to head. Where we want to look forward to. The North Node is also, I got to say, with this moon coming up on that North Node, which is known as Rahu, whatever we may be feeling, it expands it. Is more emphasis to it about the future. Now, we do have a T-square going on here with the South, with the North, those nodes connected to the moon. And they're going to be really conjunct. Bam, right on. Moon, and this energy is going to be feeding out to Venus with that opposition as well about something about healing. And when there's an opposition, remember what I said, you've got to have some awareness here and really stand and look at something and be consciously aware and with some objectivity to face it, whatever the relationship is, either really looking at it, whatever it is that's frustrating you, and bringing whatever that frustration is out to light. Letting it be known. And this has to deal with your home life and your career, your school, whatever it is, your family, your security. what you're trying to protect here over to the opposite side, um, where you can bring some way the balance here. So there's something here really with the home that's out of balance compared to the career, which maybe it's somewhat balanced or you feel successful in, but I'm not so successful going on with the home. What's going on in the home? Because you're aware of something here where you're struggling. Having there was a time I remember years ago when I used to say I felt more relaxed at work than I did at home, or I felt more at home in my work than I do in my home itself. There was a time, but now, I've made that adjustment, and I'm seeing something like with you in that same area, and it all goes back to what's focused right here. There's something here that you have been working on you. And it's all about what you feel about the future. It's okay to say, I don't know. I can only deal with this moment and this time and make the decisions I got to make. A lot of people might be saying, well, do I, need to go jobs? I need to move. Like I said, all that stuff is going on. And this could be really hitting kind of hard today. Now, this is, I would say that this might be for you sort of, I don't know where you are in the world. This could be early morning for you. This could be a disruptive sleep pattern in some way as well. But there's something I feel that you need to heal some things around the home, because this T square, it goes on, and I feel like it's if it was me and I was in, it would be a disruptive sleep pattern, because it's still there. It starts at 4:27. This T square begins. It goes on till 5:14. So that's 45 minutes of it. There could be something where there could be some disturbance in your sleep pattern. Oh, and I got to point that out too. Mars at this time, at that 5:14, 45 minutes later, Mars has now moved into Sagittarius. It's going there. It's coming out of Scorpio. It's moving. So it moves out of there, and it's coming in with the sun now in Sagittarius. Like I said, I tell you what, Mars is so hot on the sun's rear end. I mean, it's right there with it. And this T square goes on. Again, talking about from 4:27 is when it happens. It's still going on at 6:02. And this is right before sunrise. And now it's that south node. Again, like I said, it's all there. Trying to, I would look at this like somebody's having some kind of difficulty resting. Because I know there's quite a few people I know that have not been sleeping well. That their sleep patterns have just gotten disrupted. The next thing we have going on, so that T square is still there. I mean, even this is going to continue on. It's at 12:41. The moon's still getting ready to leave. It's in still has that conjunction with the North Node and that opposition to the South Node. And there's that conjunction with Venus to the South Node. They're coming in together. And there's still that T-square going on. Same place. There could be some really frustration here, I feel. Because there have been a lot of people that have said to me, I just didn't sleep good last night. Well, I don't either. I've gotten so tired of hearing that part of the conversation about, I just didn't sleep good last night. Nope. Now, at 1:29 or almost 1:30, right at 1:30, close to it, minute off, the moon now moves in to Taurus, where it will go and be into exaltation. The moon doesn't like too much being in Mars, I mean, not Mars, but in being in Aries, because it's too aggressive. Now it's going conjunct with Jupiter, but yet there's something from the past that the moon still has that conjunction to the North Node that now wanting expansion. Why isn't something growing here? And this is your fifth house, which has a lot to do with love affairs, romantic attachment, self-expression, creativity, drama, children, pleasure and play, speculation. These things can really be heightened, and it's still that T-square right there because it's still connected with the moon. Because it knows it's growing. The moon is growing. It's expanding. These emotions are expansion and growing. Whatever's feeling here, you're kind of carrying it through there. But you're going to have, I will say this, I usually say something about with the void of course, and you can see this little brown line right here, that when the moon enters this, when it comes into a complete conjunction with Jupiter, it will go into that void of course, and with it will be that whatever you're trying to do, you may succeed and you may not, but at least whatever it is can't come against you. If somebody's trying to throw blocks in your way or something here, you'll be able to forge forward because you're going to be feeling, I've got to get this done. Whatever it is. There's something here that definitely has to change. And no one can stop you. Again, that T-square, it's going to be there. I really feel like it's going to be there all day long. And we're talking about just 2 minutes after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. This is on a Friday when the sun come up. Part of the earlier part I said on this day, that was still dealing with the overnight hours until after the sun come up. And then from 6:02 to 12:41, there's a lot of stuff with the moon here that it's changing, it's growing, and that square is still there. You can see it. It's going to linger. It is going to linger. And there's something there. Again, there was just the quincunx now with Mercury over to Uranus and also with Neptune over to the South Node. Now there's something with the moon having to face something here. Whatever was going on here during that time, I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on in y'all's life. Just like Tara, I don't know what's going on in your life. I know it has to do with your home. I know it has to do something with your schooling, your career, your reputation, or whatever it may be, peace and harmony, or whatever you're seeking here. But now, whatever action you took for the future, you've got, or what you're going to do, you may have need to make these decisions. and bring something of your own actions into awareness of what you're doing. Whatever is causing the frustration, is it you or is it whatever you're dealing with? Now, I know for 7 years I dealt with something that just frustrated the hell out of me because I wanted it moving forward. And it wasn't going that way, and I went through it for 7 years till finally the exact day when it all kind of began, it came to an end. But it's still, there could be some things there. So, I know I'm saying cycle is ending. Look, the transformation is almost complete. And this is also with the sun and Mars. Look what's there. Right here. In your 11th and your 12th house. Let it go. Quit trying to control it. All you can control is you and your feelings and how it makes you feel. Bring whatever it is out into the light in relationships. If it's your own actions, something you've done here, stop it. Bad habits or whatever it may be. Because quincunx is there, and you got that T-square going straight to Pluto, which is the sun and Mars, and they're right here. You've got to make a decision. Quincunxes aren't easy. But you got to have the courage to make the decision. If you're going to leave the relationship, you're going to leave the job, you're going to leave this or that, whatever it is you're letting go, you've got to say, okay, quit dwelling on it. You got to go on. And 30 minutes later, not much has changed other than the square now. The chain is broken. We have the sun or Venus in a quincunx with the south node. Still the conjunction here and still the conjunction here. But the square's not there anymore, and that's about, what is that? Right at 5 o'clock, right before 5 o'clock. That's on a Friday if you had to go back to work. And a lot of people didn't want to go back to work. A lot of people got long holiday. Some of you don't have that kind of job to have that long holiday. Now we have an interesting setup here. Remember I said the square was gone? You've been dealing with something all day long? Well, about 7 o'clock in the evening, or right before 8 o'clock, there's a yod. Now, what is a yod? Yod is usually a reference to the finger of God. And these are the quincunxes. Okay. Just want to take that off for just a minute. Yeah, to show you 2 quincunxes and a sextile create a node. So this is where the divine is trying to help you. The finger of God saying, look here, I know things are changing and I know it's difficult. These 2 interplanets here, which is Mercury, your communication, your thoughts, your ideals, language, all these sort of things. Okay? And it's in a sextile with Venus. You need to break something free. You need to end this cycle that you're going through. Whatever it is, you need to free yourself from it. Something that's not bringing you peace and harmony. If it's your job, whatever it may be, But it's time for you to break those bonds that have been enslaving you, and say, I don't want this anymore. If it's a relationship that's not going good and it's not growing, it's not expanding, I'm not one really to say if you've been in a long term, I mean a really long term as I was, do all you can to work it, to make it work. And when you can't, and you've tried everything, you've tried to communicate, you tried to reason, you try to find out what is all the issues, and the other person is just not cooperating. They don't want to talk, they don't want to work on it, they don't want to this. Let it go. Let them go. They're not. It doesn't serve you anymore. It doesn't bring you pleasure. It doesn't bring you joy. It steals your joy. It steals your happiness. It steals your pleasure. Whatever it is that you're dealing with. But you have got to make the decision, and no one can make this. It's either we got to work this out, and I'm looking at your fifth house, which is, like I said, it's all about love affairs, romantic attachments to something here. Don't romanticize a relationship. Don't romanticize a job. Don't romanticize about a career. All these things can suddenly change. But you've got to make the decision if something else with Uranus is an influencer that made the change, then it was for your best interest. It was for your best interest. And the divine had a hand in it to say, I know what you're going through. I know what you're dealing with. I know it's been difficult. I know it's been hard. But this was done because it just was not for you. You spent too much time being spiritually devoted to something that was bringing you sorrow. So the change is done. It's done. Now, what can you do now, moving forward? And at a quarter to 8, with the sun in Sagittarius and the quincunx to the moon in Taurus, both of them at 2 degrees, you got to make a decision here. You got to bring something is being brought to your awareness that you really need to say, I can do this. You got to bring something out. This job doesn't suit me anymore. This job doesn't make me happy anymore. The life I'm living, it's not bringing me joy. It's too much negativity. I want positivity, not negativity. I've got to break these chains and decide I'm going to end this damn cycle and let it go. I'm already there. All right, then we're going to go on to the 25th, and that Yoda's there. And it started at 7 something. It's at 1:16 in the morning, so it's gone on for, 5 hours or so. This is working to get you to make this decision. And then you might say, well, I'm going to sleep on it overnight, and I will decide on what I'm going to do. Because the next thing we have is right after that. This is sort of an easy, I would say, sort of a easy night. That, there may be something there with this yod still going on into the early morning hours. But I feel that come that morning or by midday, what is happening here you're going to make the decision. Because this moon did, during the night at 4:43 in the morning, I'll go back to it a minute, you can see that the moon was conjunct. And I feel like the chain is broken here. That whatever it is, divine reason, you may have prayed on it before you went to bed. And you may have a dream that tells you, that helps you make that decision. I know I've had. Usually when I pray on something, we don't never get the answer right away, but we get it when we need it. And now, by 12 o'clock, you may be getting the message now. And you're able now to say, okay, I've made my decision. I've made my decision. I've made my choice. And this is what I'm going to do. All right, we end this with the 26th. Okay? This day. It's going to go from Saturday in the evening or the early morning hours into Sunday. And we're looking at right now at 2:18 in the morning. There's going to be another yod coming here on this day. That's going to happen. But now it's switched. Instead of it being from Venus to Mercury, now there's the yod from what do you dream now? What are your dreams? What are your visions now? What is it now telling you here? Again, there's that connection that's forming right there, that sextile. What are you inspired now for the future? Because remember, you had disassociated and disconnected from an old vision, an old dream you had. Now, it's a new vision, a new dream. That if I let this go here, and know that it doesn't bring me peace and joy or happiness, and I make this radical change that really makes me feel good, whether it be a relationship, a job, a career, something here, whatever's going on in that 10th house, which is the career, the reputation, the professional achievement, moral condition, directions, life goals. And I feel like you had a life goal that has been shattered. I know I did. It happened to me. My dreams, everything that I had for 30 years, just one day it's like, I didn't know what happened. And this is where Uranus comes in and says, bam, and it hits you so hard. And this change is like, where in the hell did that come from? What is going on here? And it wasn't me. I was the same person. But it seemed like everybody else around me went loco. Just went, I don't know where. And if that's what they wanted, fine. They felt I didn't fit in their life anymore, fine. It's okay. I'll survive. Took me a while, but I did. Again at 3:02 in the morning. We got the moon still in Taurus, still conjunct in this conjunction with Uranus retrograde. And I'm seeing this yod is not quite formed yet here, but it's having that quincunx to the past, to Venus, and there's a radical change. And then morning comes. This is Sunday now. You probably had a real sort of restless night on this. Again, like I said, when that morning comes at 8:21 in the morning, and the moon in Taurus is in that quincunx with Mercury, bam, look what happens. We got the yod again. Not only do we got one yod, but we got two. Look at that. Again, what was there before with the conjunction with the moon? Now it's also that I told you here with Neptune, your goals, your vision, something here has changed. You had some sort of inspiration here that says, yeah, I'm ready to make the change now. It's not whatever it is. Come Sunday, you're going to make this radical change. You're going to change your vision. You're going to change your goals. You're going to change your devotion. You're changing something here. A dream you've had. Again, this is a rough day. I'm going to tell you that this Sunday, we've got the yod there still going on at 2 hours, almost 3 hours later. It's still going on. The other one's still there. It's saying, okay, quit playing around here. Now, guess what? Divine's going to throw a little more in there into the soup, okay? And it's going to give us a trapezoid. All this at one time is happening. The yods from the past to what's going on in the future, future to the past, and also a trapezoid, which deals with this Pluto, okay? The moon, first off here, to Mars. This is where we have the opposition. And where the square is the moon to Pluto. And it's about your vision, your dream, what you feel emotionally dedicated to. You're doing something here that other people may be opposed to you doing. But it's your vision, your dream of what you have. And you got to decide what is best for you. They have to decide what's best for them. Can't let people influence your dreams, your goals, your visions for the future. Don't let anybody steal your dreams and your visions for the future. Just because someone leaves your life or something's gone out of your life, ask yourself, am I still devoted to the dream? Because that was one thing I said in my situation. You can leave my life. All of y'all can leave my life if that's what you want to do. Fine. I don't care. You know, I hate it. But I still have my dream and goal, and you're not going to steal that from me. You can take everything else from me, but you won't take away my dream. And that is where you have to make the decision about your dream, your vision, your goal for you. And if it means you got to let some people go, so be it. Because this energy is still here, even at 10:49. I mean, this is going on. And you're going to have to say, I'm not living your dream. The moon still in Taurus, trying Pluto. You may have to stand up here because I told you that trapezoid is still there. Now we have T-squares focused on you want to take the action. It's time for you to now say, this is what I want to do. I'm sorry you don't agree with me. but it's what's best for me. If this love affair is not growing, if you don't want to be with me, you're not giving what I need, but yet you want me to give you what you need, I can't do that. I've got to take care of me. And again, it's like ending the cycle, the struggle. If a relationship is so much of a struggle, then it's time to let it go. First, we have it with the sun here. I'm sorry, that's the sun, the opposition to the sun, somebody else's thoughts or ideals or whatever it is. And then we have it to Mars, T square on both of those, because it's not a combined energy yet. They're not conjunct yet. They're not that far off. But both of those is what action they take against you. They cannot come against you, whatever it is that you choose to do. Nope, because you got a plan going on here. Now the moon's going to move into Gemini. And this is like 20 minutes to 8. All right. And we still have the two T squares there. The one with the moon, Saturn to the sun, with the moon or the sun opposing the moon. It's really interesting here because we're talking about Gemini. And what rules Gemini is Mercury. And it's something here I feel that you are mentally going to be very devoted to, spiritually devoted to. And we also have the T square still there with Saturn and the moon and Mars. It goes from Mars to the sun. You know, whatever they're trying to do, whatever's going on here, you know, it's all right. Like, tell me what you think, or tell me what you feel. I don't care, but I'm going to do what I need to do. Now that the moon has in Gemini, again, T squares are still there. I tell you, this day on the 26th, you may have people trying to intercede in your life that need to get on down the road. If they're not there to support you or to help you or to grow with you, to get involved with something here, then it's time for you to say, I got to go. I got to take care of me. And then at 10, almost 10 minutes to 11 that evening, Mercury, being in Sagittarius, trying the North Node, retrograde. It's retrograde now. Was direct, but now it's retrograde. At 24:22, both of them. You've got to think for what is best for you. So Mercury trying this. What is best for your future? Again, those T squares are still there. I mean, it's going to end. This day's going to end where squares are stumbling blocks. They're trying to build something. It's up to you. How you handle the squares shows what you're made like on the inside. So you may have to deal with something here, and you may have to step up and say, I've made a decision, and this is what I'm going to do, and I'm sorry if you don't agree with it. But I have to let this go, that go, something here that is not, making this decision. Because we're going to have the full moon on the 27th, the very next day. And I'll show you just a glimpse of it. You see the moon at 4:51 in opposition to the sun, but it's not alone. Again, the 11th house, You're dealing with two things here. You're dealing with friends and your social groups or like-minded people or whatever this is, but you're also dealing with the 12th house, which has to deal with karma, results from past acts, their past actions, their thoughts, way they communicated, the way they acted towards you. And karma is going to come back on others. Maybe how they spoke against you or something here that they did that was very unfair or unjust. But these T squares are here. And I see that you're going to see with that, like I said, that here, you're going to see and think and let go of people who have tried to bring karma up on you. Either, I feel like it's on the other side, but you're going to let whatever it's go. It's time to let it go. At this full moon, it's time to surrender it. Give it thanks. Appreciate it, whatever it was. It was in your life to show you something, to teach you something, and now it's time to just let it go. Okay? So y'all take care, and that's what I got for y'all. And I will see y'all later. Thank you.